Good afternoon, folks, and welcome inside the Credit Union Place here in Summerside, PEI, as we get set here for the U18 Female Hockey League action. Live on High Button Sports, I'm Logan Crothers. Thanks for tuning in here as the 6th place Cape Breton Lynx face off against the 4th place Greenfoot Capitals here in this mid-afternoon matchup. Looks like it'll be Ava Landry on the opening draw. She'll face off against number 14 for the Capitals in Eleanor McHenry. Face off won by McHenry. Work back, here's Leslie. Leslie up off the glass into the neutral zone. Vickers steps up, work past her. Here's a chance, Kelly. Down low, she'll drive the shoulder centering off one hand, and that goes in behind of the Capitals' first opportunity here in this game. Shot on, blocker save by Jessom. Abby Jessom getting the nod here for the Lynx in this mid-afternoon matchup. 200 feet down from her is number 30, Lauren Delaney. She'll get the nod for the Capitals here. As it's worked up, McHenry gets center, dumps in, a full line change for the Caps as 5 fresh sets of legs hop over the boards and get on the forecheck. Pass intended, picked off though by O'Dane and worked back. Here's Dowling. Over the blue line, she'll dump it in and give chase. Dowling down low behind the net of Jessom, trying to work it back to the point off a skate and picked up, cleared out to center and sent right back in by the Capitals. Asbridge pressuring the puck down on the half wall. Rimmed around to the far side. Wilkie will step up off of her backhand towards the front of the net. That worked all the way down into the short side. Here's McLean up for Lawlin. Will battle here on the blue line. Will work it back. McLean leaves it for Gabrielle. Gabriel had a hat trick last night, a high button hat trick here inside the Credit Union Place. They won big against the Kraken 10-2. As it's worked, here's a shot. That goes wide of Jessom. Work back to the point, Walter. Down low for Kearney. That gets sent all the way down. Icing call coming up here as LaPierre back for it. Goes all the way down. Lynx charged with an icing call here. Just inside 2 minutes has expired here in the opening period of this mid-afternoon matchup. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Logan Crothers with High Button Sports. This U18 Maritime Female League action continuing all week as the showcase continues later on today and into tomorrow. Couple games yesterday as well, as the Maritime Female Hockey League has taken over the Western Capitals Arena here this weekend. Walter, D-to-D. Leslie works it right back over for Beaton. She'll collect it and work it back into her own zone now. Up the far side wall, sent in by Parsons, and a full line change up front for the Capitals commence, and they'll look to get back on the forecheck. Pressure there. Vickers knocked off the puck there by Jodry, as that'll get back down. Jade Vickers had a big night last night as well. I think she had 3 points on the 10-2 victory. Here's a centering pass. Driscoll backhand shot on the spinning attempt sent wide. Jodry down low, cycles for Ella Driscoll wearing the C. Back for Jodry, rebound. Worked back by Prince to the point. Payne shot sent wide. Leslie steps up, trying to get it back in down low. McEachern pressuring her, pinning against the wall. Worked up. Morel off the skate of Leslie, now cleared out. Payne will collect it over top of the Summerside Capitals logo and dump it right back in and peel off for a change. Marley Payne getting a shot away as Driscoll's going to stay out on the forecheck. Vickers move around one. She'll get her feet moving up ice. She's pestered from behind but keeps it going. Up to the neutral zone over the blue line. Vickers shot off the post. That puck never left the ice. Nice hard snapshot there by Jade Vickers with a chance right up the gut here in this opening period. Still no scores. Here's a chance. Landry backdoor trying to find Cremo. Can't connect. Cremo will pressure Driscoll up the wall. Bouncing puck goes through the feet on the far side of McInnes, but Gabrielle there to cover for her defense partner. Gabrielle with speed through the neutral zone, right up the middle. She'll take it in over to the far side. As I mentioned, she had 3 goals last night in a High Button hat trick. Wilkie, far side, backhand pass, read perfectly, turned over. Landry will cycle it back in down low. McHenry bats it down, works it across as that gets rimmed around by Charlotte O'Dane. Kelly trying to chip it up, and that'll go all the way down. Kelly's head to the sky, maybe a little frustrated with herself, knowing she was just 2 steps from center. Didn't get the red line, and an icing call here will bring the Lynx into the Capital zone for the offensive zone draw. 4th place Capitals coming into the game with a 11-8 record. They have 23 points so far on the year, 44 goals for and 33 against. The Cape Breton Lynx coming in with a 9-win, 8-loss record. They have 20 points on the year, and they have 65 goals for, 55 against. Off the post there, Vickers with 2 high opportunity chances here. Asbridge off the bench, chips into the neutral zone. McLean races back, overskates the puck, chipped into the neutral zone by Vickers, and it'll be collected far side, trying to work it in. McNeil, Avery McNeil had a few points last night as that's chipped up into her own bench by Asbridge for a stoppage of play. Face-off's looks like it's gonna go just outside of the bench on the far side of the Capitals side of the ice. McInnes helps out and wins it all the way up back into her own zone. Gabrielle's going to have to give chase. Raylan Gabrielle wheels the back of her net and now through the neutral zone as she picked the puck up with speed, and now they get it in deep as that'll be forechecked. Angelini on the forecheck. Asbridge trying to turn it over or chip it out, turns it over. Walter works it up off the skate of Asbridge. Brown sending it back in down low. They had a mini 3-on-2, but I don't think she realized as she turned the puck over in the high slot, just wanted to get it back in deep. Here's a shot off a chance in tight by Angelini, and out to the far side, Asbridge into the neutral zone, takes a bump, worked back, Dowling chipping it up. Gabrielle looking for the stretch pass up ahead, knocked down by Brown, as I believe the intended target might have been McEachran at the far blue line. As Harlan back for it, pressured by Morel. Olivia Morel in on the forecheck. She's normally a defenseman. She'll have to get back into her defensive posture as she does now. Up on the short side point. Now she'll head off for a change. Up the wall, Parsons will pick it up. Center through the middle. Beaton's going to have to slow down, and behind her, poking it up ahead. Here's a chance. Kearney, shot into the chest. Rebound in behind the net. Kearney down low in front. Shot. No rebound as that one into the chest. As a good chance for Parsons, looking to open the scoring here, is still deadlocked at 0 between the Lynx and the Capitals. 13:28 remaining in this opening period. Kearney, fresh off of representing Team Atlantic at the U18 National Championships. They got silver at that tournament. Face off, loose in front as that puck won cleanly back, and the puck sat down in the feet of the goaltender, Abby Jessam, but the referee blowing it dead as the puck was loose, but the ref lost sight of it, and a face-off going to the glove hand side of Jessam. Official having a extended conversation with her. Kearney on the draw. As I was mentioning, Kearney representing Team Atlantic at the U18 National Championships. They got silver. Congratulations to all the ladies that represented Team Atlantic. Tipped on the skate as that gets cleared into the corner. As I was mentioning, congratulations to all the ladies that represented the Atlantic provinces at Nationals a few weeks ago, as Lowen pressuring the puck. Far side, Driscoll trying to chip it in. Outside of the center zone. Picked up, dished out wide with some speed. Harlan will dump it around to the far side. Offside, says the official. Waiting for some options. McLean for McInnes through the neutral zone. McInnes gets center and dumps it around. Delaney out to play it, can't stop it up. Far side, Walter will collect it, but turn it over now. Cremo and a call from outside of the zone all the way back in the neutral zone from on the other side of center ice. The official calls a tripping call against Walter. The official right there was going to let them play on. She's had a good view of it. She was standing right there watching the play as the play unfolded over on the far side over there by the yellow Gahan sign, and the referee was standing by the Greenfoot sign over in the corner, and she never put her arm up in the air, but the official from the backside all the way out past the Capitals logo here at center thought it was a trip, so that'll be a power play here for the Lynx. Worked over, and Gleany worked back to the point. Back for her, she'll take a step in, shot looking for a stick back door as Cremo was set up there, but couldn't connect. Gabrielle with a spin move, works it to the middle. Angelini over the line. She'll stop up, trying to set things up, but turn it over, and Jaudry off the linesman and back into the center ice. Gabrielle fakes a pass, works it over the line, gonna go right down the middle. Knocked off of her stick over to the far side wall. She'll cut back to the point. She'll look over some options. Poked away. Here's a chance. Driscoll. If she can get her feet moving. Driscoll in alone. Driscoll knocked off of her stick. Great back check by Jade Vickers. Picked up Vickers. What a back check there by her as she picks it up. She'll delay inside the blue line. Now she'll work it in. Drop pass. Work back down low. Good job by number 22, Lawland, as it's worked back to the point. Walking, McInnes looking over her options. Fakes a shot over to the far side. Worked back. One-timer paddled away by Delaney. Far side, McLean. Sorry, McNeil. That's Avery McNeil in there helping out. Was McLean. Shot there. Blocker save. Rebound in behind the net. Harlan trying to get it away from harm's way is now it'll get sent in behind. Collected. Lawland back to the point. Picked off. McInnes shot past the glove wide. Clearing attempt. Grabbed by Driscoll as she'll collect it through the neutral zone. 1-on-3. Ella Driscoll chipping it in next to the net. She'll peel back and head for a change. Good kill there. As back to 5-on-5 action. Actually, never mind. Actually, yes, back to 5-on-5 action. No icing on the play, and yes, there is an icing. So I thought I heard no ice yelled out there, but icing will be the call. Face-off going to the right-hand side. Gloves blocker side of goaltender Abby Jessam. Here with 10 minutes and 11 seconds remaining on the opening period clock. The face-off going to go to the glove hand side, it looks like now. One of linesmen had said it was going to this side here to the left of us, but it's going to the left over on the far side of the ice. Battled off the draw, picked up, high slot, poked away, and worked out into the neutral zone. Lawin gets center, dumps it, and peels off. Delaney pokes it in behind Wilkie. Reverse play for Marley Payne. Payne stops up in behind her net, spins, takes her time, dishes it there. That'll be left, worked through the neutral zone by McHenry, gets center, can't get it in deep. Eckern knocks it off of her stick and all the way back in. Good job by McHenry's counter-numerical partner in McEachern. Couple of Lynx players running into each other, and from her stomach, dumping it in was Brown. Good job on the second effort there. She got it in deep from her stomach. Was Brown as power now through the neutral zone, chipping it up. Delayed icing, arm in the air, and that'll go all the way down. Vickers to it first, and an icing call will send the Caps back into their own zone here. Coming back on is McHenry for the defensive zone draw. She couldn't change, although she attempted it. Face off, glove side of Delaney. Still deadlocked at 0. Who's going to break open the scoring here first? One back to the point. Good job to stick with it was Austin. Bottom back Morel, D to D. Shot on Delaney, rebound, sent wide. Morel holds the line and sends it back in deep. Puck down low, Walter trying to spin it up the wall off a couple skates and back up. Power, clearing attempt, makes its way into the neutral zone where Morel goes D to D. Vickers gets center and dumps it back in. Taking the worst of that over on the far side was Prince, as that'll be cycled by Austin. Down low, Cremo will battle with McHenry on the far side corner. Payne in there to help out McHenry. Picked up though, Cremo centers Austin's shot, sent wide to the far corner. Up the wall, stepping in, Ashbridge could have had a hook call there, nothing on the play. Payne takes her time. Works it up ahead. Here's a chance. O'Dane kicks it wide for Ashbridge. Good job to get back where the defenders for the Lynx. They could have been a 2-on-0, but turned it into a 2-on-3 and getting back in time as that'll be picked up. Gabrielle across the blue line. Shot steered away by Delaney to the far side. Picked up Leslie in her feet. Will go D to D, too far to the reach for her D partner, but Dowling will step in down low to try to take it out into the neutral zone, cleared back, but collected by McNeil. She'll play it, intended for McLean. Ashbridge now working it in. Here's a chance for O'Dane. Centering pass. Dowling's shot blocked. Worked back the other way. Here come the Lynx. Chipping it up and giving chase by herself. Good job to stick with it. It's Parouche down low. Chipping it off the glass and into the neutral zone was Leslie. She'll head off for a change. McLean working it up. Too far out of the reach of McEachran, and an icing call coming up here against the Lynx. And the intended pass for McEachran, too far out of her reach, and they'll go all the way back into the Lynx zone. Offensive zone draw now for the Capitals. See if they can't capitalize on the error to pass here in the offensive zone. 7 minutes and 10 seconds remaining. Kearney on the offensive zone draw. One back. Far side, Parsons cycling it down low. Beaton trying to get to it. Jade Vickers reads it perfectly and works it up to her winger on the far side. Through the neutral zone. Anglini across the line, turns it over. Momentarily, Brown collects it. Works it back down low. Shot attempt, fanned on by McEachran out of the corner. Kearney picks it up, rimming it up the wall. Beaton collects it on the half wall. Now chipping it around to the defenseman and giving chase. Can't get it around though, as great read by Jade Vickers to work it right back the other way. Over the blue line, she'll drive down low, peel up inside the hash mark. Centering pass found Parsons, the intended target. That dribbled across the bench and out of play of the Capitals bench. So face-off's going to go back inside as a clearing attempt went into the bench. Landry on the offensive zone draw. Driscoll. And Landry will battle for it. Chipped up ahead. Here's Driscoll with some speed. Driscoll gonna split the D. Driscoll in a low shot. Scores! Ella Driscoll! And she opens the scoring here to make it 1-0 for the Capitals. What a shot by Ella Driscoll as she goes bar down, splitting the D and sniping it home. Face off back here at center ice, and the first goal of the game goes to Ella Driscoll, and a 1-0 lead for the Capitals, and the captain coming up clutch here in the second period to give her team a 1-0 lead. She just bursted through the defenseman with a crazy. She turned on the afterburners and split right through them. She got in alone and making no mistake this time, ripping it bar down. And the 1-0 lead for the Caps as they look to continue momentum. Centering pass knocked away. McNeil, centering pass, doesn't connect. Jodry Prince picks up the assist on the Driscoll goal here to open the scoring. Good job by Zara Prince dishing that puck to the middle, realizing that Driscoll had a bunch of speed through the neutral zone, and she saw the middle open up like the parting of the seas, and she just turned on the afterburner, split the D, and she ripped that bar down, no doubt about it. Worked in, here's Sydney Power, will give Chase Morrell, works it up the wall. McEachern through the middle, connects cleanly there with Parouche, delayed call here, Kelly's gonna go for hooking. Worked in, McInnes, that wasn't touched, McInnes shot sent wide past Delaney, worked up, Power touches up the puck, and that'll stop play on a hooking call here. Abigail Kelly's gonna sit for a hook. Wait to see who's going into the box. No one. The McHenry is going to the box. The official wants to have a talk. The coach wants to have a talk with the official. I think they have the wrong player in the box. I think the player who is supposed to be in the box is actually supposed to be Abigail Kelly. And a power play now coming up for the Lynx. The Lynx on the power play this year sitting at a great 25% and right off the draw. Cremo shot goes high. Clearing attempt, knocked down Vickers. Can't get it out as Asbridge on the clearing attempt, down low. Good job turning it over. Landry pinned against the wall by Walters. In there to help out Cremo. And behind the net, walks it out, shot, rebound. Into the slot, cleared away by Dowling. Hooking's going to be the call, and McHenry's going to be charged with it, but I think it was Abigail Kelly who actually, and that'll be another penalty coming up. On a call there, down low, it looks like it's going to be 2 for hooking. And now Dowling's going to go to the box, and a late 5-on-3 here, under 5 minutes remaining in the second period. The Lynx come into the game, as I was mentioning, with a crazy 25% rating on the power play this year. That probably sits amongst the best of the league here as they look for more, or they look to help out that percentage here on this 5-on-3. Rebound, loose in front. Day shuts the door. Delaney doing a great job here so far as they have 1 minute and 25 seconds on the power play to start. 5-on-3 here, down to 1 minute and 15 now, 1 minute and 50 on the second one. 4:07 remaining here in the opening period of play. 1-0 the lead for the Capitals. Walked up to the point, walking to the middle. McInnes shot tipped, rebound loose in front. Didn't make it all the way to the net. Clearing attempt, not out. Second attempt, can't get it out, was beaten. Back check there, beaten. Good job to take it away momentarily, but can't clear. Austin takes it over. Far side. Shot, blocked. One back, McInnes though on the block. Works it back. Austin, cross ice pass, too far for McLean. She'll have to regroup it. McLean back to the point and out. Past McInnes, and that'll take some time off the clock here. 1 minute and 8 seconds on the second penalty. Only 30 seconds remaining on the first power play. As the Lynx cross the line, Gabrielle poked off of her stick. Kearney works it back. Here's a chance. Kearney trying to break through 1-on-4. Can't get the feet going fast enough as it's worked back. Gabrielle knocked off of her stick. Clearing attempt from her knees, only makes it to the point. Vickers walks. Dishes it back down. Anglini works it to the point. Vickers shot, blocker save by Delaney. 5-on-4 action now. 35 seconds remaining. Anglini to the point. Shot blocked by her own teammate. Into the corner. Walters gets taken down. Anglini back on the side. Works it back to McNeil at the point. McNeil's shot sent wide. Rebound off the end wall. Vickers shot and into the glove and held on to there for a whistle. Delaney diving on it. 15 seconds remaining here in the power play for the Lynx. The penalty kill for the Capitals coming into this game, the actual same as the Lynx percentage, sitting at 84%. They've taken the exact same amount of penalty minutes at 177 coming into the game for both squads. So some penalized teams there, each with 177 PIMs going into the game. They've added a couple here in this game as that puck up in the air. Landry finds it as it dropped and sends it in. She'll pressure Payne now. Payne, cross ice pass, tipped by Landry, picked up right off the bench, worked back over the line by McInnes. Down low, McInnes, centering pass off a stick, rebound, battled, blocker save by Delaney. She was down and out. She tried to jump on it, loose back to the point, poke pass, and Driscoll has a step. Driscoll pokes it ahead, down the far side wall. Ellen Driscoll, forehand, backhand shot, and can't bury it home as Driscoll tried to get her second of the period to give the Caps a 2-0 lead, but couldn't find the back of the net past Jessom. Dumped in there. Good job to get it in deep by Leslie. McLean. Back for Driscoll in the slot. Bobbled. Driscoll finds it back though. Backhand spinning pass. Doesn't connect. Driscoll works it back to the point. Past Harlan and back into their own zone. Harlan quick up the wall. Jodry over the line. She'll stop up momentarily. Chip it in deep. No call on the play there. Yes, there is from the back official. And that'll stop play here as Lawand. And it'll be a holding call coming up, and it looks like Gabrielle will head to the box. So Raylene Gabrielle, one of the best players for the Lynx, is going to sit for 2 or less. Yesterday, she came into the game with 18 points. She had a hat trick. That adds up. She's got 21 now on the season. Great start to the first half for Raylene Gabriel as that puck, Kearney battles for it, off the draw, sent out though by Olivia Morel as we're inside a minute now remaining here in the opening period. This power play is going to carry over into the second as it's picked up. Nice fake move to the middle. Wilkie wheels up the far side wall, going to take it towards the middle. Wilkie to the backhand out wide. Vickers gets a stick on him, pokes into the corner. Kearney going to get in there to help out. Vickers goes down, tied up down low. Kearney works it back for Parsons on the half wall. Back to the point. Power play continuing here. Half a minute remaining in the opening frame. Worked back here for Parsons. Poked off her stick by Morel. Clearing attempt held in at the line. No, it goes out as Harlan picked her head up to walk the middle and bobbled the puck. And that'll stop play here with 16.9 seconds remaining on the clock. In the opening period, 1-0 lead for the Capitals on a goal from their captain, set up by Zara Prince as she picked it up just inside the blue line, right through the defenseman. Picked up by her own blue line on a centering feed. Split the D-man. Driscoll takes a bump there, sent down. 5 seconds remaining here on the clock as Cremo pressures Payne, picking it up, working it up for Driscoll, and that'll do it for the first period of play. So after one period of play, Capitals 1, Lynx still no score. 56 seconds of power play time will carry over into the second period for the Capitals, and we'll be back for that action here live on High Button Sports from the Credit Union Place after this short intermission. Welcome back, folks, for a second period of action here on High Button Sports. We are inside the Credit Union Place here in Summerside. PEI is a minute or so. Power play is going to carry over into this second period for the Capitals. Leslie back in her own zone. She'll stop up. Far side, Judry for Driscoll. Doesn't connect cleanly. Prince will collect it and work it into the neutral zone. Almost turned it over. She'll stick with it, though, and work it in over the blue line. Zara Prince picking up the assist on the opening goal to Ella Driscoll in the first period on a beautiful shot from her to open the scoring. Winning the draw on the defensive side of the zone, out of her own zone. Kicking it wide to Prince. Prince just it back. And Driscoll split the D and ripped it bar down for the first goal of the game. Payne shot, blockered, save, rebound. Jodry trying to bury home the rebound. Can't do so. Vicker works it to the neutral zone. Turned over, right back through the... And Leslie offside is jumping into the boards on the far side. It looked like, I believe, can't get a number, I believe might have been Ashlyn Kearney jumping into the boards. She was offside, so that'll send the Caps offside. They'll have a face-off in front of their bench. McLean trying to win it, loses it though, and one back. Capitals touch center and dump it in is Wilkie. Hard rim to the far side. Beaton gets there first, bounces over a stick, and the Lynx work it back. McLean through the neutral zone, dumping it in on her backhand. She'll give chase. In there to help out with her is Lawlin. Gabrielle stepping up, using her head actually to keep that puck in. It bounced off her skate, then her head, and back down to her stick. Battle here as that's worked back. Here's Kearney through the neutral zone. 2-on-1. Kearney's going to drop the shoulder, and good stick by the defenseman, Raylyn Gabrielle. Shot there, rebound kicked away. As that pass might have been intended for a stick, never leaving the ice. Kearney takes her time, gets a little bit of pressure, dishes the puck off the bench right into the action. Power, backhand shot, rebound, glove save, and held on to there. Jessom having to be sharp there. Some pressure in the early goings of the period as back to 5-on-5 action as the abbreviated minute power play has expired, and an offensive zone draw, though, for the Capitals. They look to keep the puck in zone. Brown will dig in for the Lynx, the defensive zone draw. Right to the slot, shot calmly held on to there by the glove of goaltender Abby Jessom for a whistle to calm things down. Right off the draw, the puck went right to the slot, and Power tried to get it towards the net. She did, but not enough on it. Kelly digs in here against Brown. Once again, right off the draw, Power shot trickles in on net again. She tried to get that shot away as she was spitting towards the net, but couldn't get enough on it, and it trickled in on net. Power having a quick laugh there with Leslie at the point. Face off, they'll do it over for the third time. Brown wins this one, though. Back for McLean, reverse play up the wall. McInnes didn't read it, and it's turned back over. The Caps look to get things going. Kelly trying to work it off the half wall, down low. Picked up, worked back. McHenry back to the point and back out into the neutral zone. Leslie will regroup. Headman pass there for Power, past her, and a little bit of ping pong here just below us. Puck in the feet and worked up ahead. McEachern will elect to dump it around to the far side corner where that'll be picked up by Brown. Pinched off, though, by McHenry. Power clearing attempt held in the line by Vickers. Shot there from distance, blocked by Walter in front. Up off the glass, cleared back to the point through the feet and into the neutral zone. Vickers collects it offside at the line. She couldn't wait up long enough. As McEachern was in on the forecheck, she got taken out down low and worked right back into the zone by Vickers, and an offside call. Here will stop play for a face-off in front of the Lynx bench over to the far side between Landry and O'Dane. O'Dane wins that to the wall. Battled there between Dowling trying to chip it out as her and Avery will battle. Kicked up by Dowling, worked right up ahead, heads up push. Parouche takes a bump, no call on the play, they'll play on. Worked in, O'Dane trying to poke it ahead past Vickers. She'll collect it and move up ice. Jade Vickers with a burst of speed past Asbridge to the middle and offside at the line, says the official. As Parouche was in over the line, I think just a step ahead of Vickers, and offside was sent. The Cape Breton Lynx face off out front of their bench once again. O'Dane will dig in here as she faces off against Avery McNeil. McNeil trying to win it back, does so. Morel chipping it up to her, loses her stick, can't control it. Puck up ahead, O'Dane trying to work it around Morel, can't do so. Dowling trying to chip it in, battling on the bench side, going down on the far side was McNeil. Morel worked it back on the far side. McNeil works in over the blue line, down into the end boards. McNeil battles there with Harlan up to the wall. Morel stepping in, trying to work it out as Dowling leaves it there. Asbridge into the neutral zone and sent right back in. Morel, good job to not touch it was McNeil as it goes all the way back down. In behind the net, wheeling that puck out with some speed is Marley Payne, working it up the wall. Trying to get it in deep was Asbridge as she fell over to her knees. She got it in to the zone, right back out. Come the Lynx. As that got sent back down, Harlan not enough for icing. D-to-D pass. McInnes works it up. Driscoll off the bench. Wilkie holds the line and dumps it back in deep. Rimming it up the wall. The intended target was Austin. Driscoll forces the turnover and cycles it back down low. Jodry and Prince out there with Ella Driscoll, who has the lone goal so far. And this 1-0 lead for the Capitals. Rimmed around. Austin through her feet. Wilkie steps up, and Prince cycling it back down low. Jodry's going to give chase, rimming the puck around to McEachran, stepping up and worked out into the neutral zone. Driscoll is going to cover for her defenseman. Good job there by the captain, Ella Driscoll, as it gets sent down. Delaney stops it, pushes it away from Wilkie. Delaney kind of raising her hand, saying there's no communication. Up for Prince in the neutral zone. Prince touches it ahead for Jodry. Prince tried to pick it off, bounces over her stick and back through the neutral zone with some speed. Cremo works it wide for Landry on her backhand, stops up, tries to feed Vickers, gets it poked away, and a delayed call here coming up. Or no, not a delayed call, as just the whistle goes as the net off its bearings, and a face-off going to stay inside. It is the official saying the player was pushed in by the Capitals player, so the face-off is going to stay inside of the zone. Face-off to the blocker side of goaltender Lauren Delaney. Landry's going to dig in, offensive zone draw on her backhand, loses it though, into the corner. Battled for, chipping it high off the glass, glove down by McLean on the half wall. Puck battled, McLean trying to get it in deep. Payne collects it and chipping it back. McLean holds the line, shot in, pad save. Delaney to the far side, beaten, chipping it out into the neutral zone, and now chipped in by Kearney. Down low, Kearney gets to it first. She'll stop up and look to set things up. She'll leave it there for 71. That'll be Parsons. Battles 1-on-2, trying to cycle it down low. All three forwards in there for the Capitals. Work back to the point. Payne knocks it down, works it around. Shot there, blocked off the body of Kearney. She's laboring over to the bench now. Puck blocked. Landry gets in front of that. Shot in from Payne. Worked back to the point. Marley Payne walks. Shot again. Sent wide. Rebound in behind the net. Worked over through the crease to the short side and chipped up into the neutral zone. Payne bouncing over her stick. Ends up calling the icing off as she had an attempt there to knock the puck down and work it right back as it's worked up. Here's McHenry. She'll drop it back and worked right back here for Kelly. Crossing the blue line, over Lown, in deep. Down low, turned over. That'll be Power. Centers off a skate, back to the point. Shot, attempt, ends up just getting it down in deep as smart play there. Not trying to feed it through shin pads on the far side was Harlan. Morel picks the puck up with some speed now through the neutral zone. Olivia Morel dumps it in. She'll give chase. Shill's going to be F1. Someone's going to have to cover for her defensive chance there on the turnover. She had a backhand chance. Shutting the door was Lauren Delaney. Once again, puck worked back into the neutral zone. Chipped off the stick And back, here's Kelly, and a delayed call here coming from the back official once again. And it looks like it's going to be a roughing call coming up, as heading to the box for the Capitals will be number 18, Catherine Wilkie. 2 minutes for roughing, and Wilkie sits. And a power play chance here for the Lynx to try to tie it back up at 1 apiece. 12:34 remaining on the clock here in the second period of action, live from the Credit Union Place in Summerside, PEI. This is the U18 Female Showcase live on High Button Sports. Thanks for tuning in here, folks, for this mid-afternoon matchup as Vickers holds the line. She'll work it to the middle of the ice. Now here's a breakaway chance. Ashbridge has a step. Working it in, Ashbridge. Vickers, great back check, takes her down, no call. They'll go into the end wall, and Ashbridge a little slow to get up. Good forecheck by Dowling. Down low, Dowling takes a fall. Play continues. Gabrielle sidesteps a little bit of a bump there. Vickers over the neutral zone now, over the blue line. Jade Vickers looking backdoor off the skate. Can't find it. Connecting pass down low, works it back to the point. They'll look to set things up. Gabrielle's shot blocked by Ashbridge. Cremo down low, back for Gabrielle's shot into the glove there. It goes off the chest protector and right into the glove of Lauren Delaney, and she'll stop play. A minute and 11 seconds still remaining on the power play. They've killed off 49 seconds of the power play so far. And they've even had a good chance, a breakaway for Ashbridge, but Jade Vickers taking that away with a great back check effort, and they'll kick another player out of the draw. Don't really know why. Puck battled for here off the draw, one back to McInnes. She'll walk, far side, touched right back to her. McInnes lets a shot go into the feet. Puck still there, shot on, pad save by Delaney. Cleared back to the point. McInnes, glove to stick, works it over to the far side, right back for her. She'll walk the middle, shot blocked. Up at the point by O'Dane. Payne overskates it, Driscoll sends it down. Full length of the ice there. Ella Driscoll making sure it gets all the way down and out of harm's way, as that'll be picked up. McInnes, stretch pass up the far side for McNeil. She'll lose an edge, and that'll be chipped in there by McInnes. Battle on the end wall. And that gets cleared out. Good job to clear it down by Payne. And 20 seconds now remaining on the power play. With speed. Up through the neutral zone, now over the blue line. Gabrielle, she's played the whole 2 minutes so far almost on the power play. She works it down low to high. Vickers walks the middle, back for shot there, and Gabrielle lets one go on a one-timer and snagged out of the air calmly by Delaney to stop play. Gabrielle's played 1 minute and 58 seconds on this power play. She's going to head off for a change now as well with Austin. And stepping on for Gabrielle is Olivia Morel. She's done a little bit of everything here, forechecking, turning the puck over, trying to create some offensive chances. She steps up there and holds the line. The puck inside, chipped down. Vickers will collect it in her own zone. Jade Vickers poked off her stick right on net, and that's held on to as Jodry was pressuring her. 10:23 remaining here in this second period. 1-0 still the score for the Capitals on an opening goal off the stick of the captain, Ella Driscoll, on a beautiful play shot, barring in. Face off. Jodry will dig in, backhand side. She'll face off against Cremo. One back to the point, poked in, just held in line. Prince will cycle it back down low. Rimming it around to the short side and collecting it there up ahead. Good job to find the player there was Parouche as McEachern works it in over the line. Driscoll chipping it out. Morel sending it right back though, and Payne looking over some options, works it here for Prince. Zara Prince has a point. She's got the assist on the Driscoll goal in the opening period. As Driscoll gets to it, turns it over, centering pass, trying to return the favor to Prince, set her up in front as she waited out front there. She gets tied up trying to work her way out of the zone, and no call on the play. Payne steps up outside the blue line to turn that puck over. Harlan chipping it up off the stick of Morel. That'll, I guess, not go off the stick of Morel. They'll continue on to it first. Beaton turns it over in front. Parsons shot. Save there by Jessam. Down low, cycled there. Kearney down for Parsons, trying to toe drag. Can't get it back onto the stick though, and Landry pressured by Parsons. Up the wall, centering pass, doesn't connect cleanly, and Harlan's going to go all the way back, pressured by Angwani. Angwani now turns it up. As that puck got rimmed around for Payne, she'll cut back in behind her net. Payne, D-to-D for Harlan, can't connect. Beaton's going to have to try to get there. Can't do so. Angani out front, back to the point. Gabrielle walks in, shot, pad, save, rebound. McLean shot high, wide, past the glove. Landry back to the point. Raylan Gabrielle, D-to-D, another one-timer sent to the corner. Landry off the corner, rebound. Shot there, Delaney up for the task. Once again, chipped up, Beaton, taking out the stepping up of McLean. Shot there, rebound off the blocker, and that's cleared up all the way into the stands here in the Credit Union place. So they'll have to get a new puck here from down below. 18:27 remaining on the clock in the second period. Sorry, 8:27 remaining on the clock in the second period. McNeil, offensive zone draw. She'll dig in. Battling there with Driscoll. Driscoll got to be careful. Doesn't want to take a penalty here in the late stages, or I guess not really late stages of the second period. I guess we're just 12 minutes or so into the period. Centering pass picked off. Walter, far side. Good pressure there by Andrews. She hounded that puck. Almost turned it over, but Driscoll in there supporting. Helps her pick it up and wheel it down the far side. Ella Driscoll with speed. Down low, centering pass off a skate. Didn't find its way out front. Down low, Jodry turns it over. Centering, rebound, picked up though by Vickers as that puck goes off the pad and back into the slot. Vickers almost turned it over, sticks with it, and she'll wheel it up. Pass intended, goes off the skate of Andrews and back into the zone. McNeil up ahead for Andrews off of her stick. Vickers just works it up ahead. Chipped back into the neutral zone. Jade Vickers touches center and dumps it all the way in. Delaney out, stops it up, and plays it backhand for Leslie. Leslie up for Kelly. No icing on the play there as it was apparently stepped up on. Gabrielle's going to go all the way back. Gabriel up the wall. Nice job to make sure Brown was in behind Kelly as it's worked up over the line. McInnes shot there, set wide. Sorry, that was McEachern. Kelly gets to it first, down low, rimming it up the wall. Intended there for Sydney Power. Can't control cleanly. Harlan attempt to get it out. Held at the line. Now she'll just hit it out with her hand as McInnes will collect it. Trying to get it back there. Sydney Power goes off of her stick. Puck right behind her. She didn't even realize where the puck was. She was too busy about trying to get her stick back. Wilkie dumping it in off of Gabriel as she'll go back for it. Raylene Gabriel cuts up through the middle of the ice. She'll take her space. Working it up ahead. Brown looking for it in her feet. Right through the feet of Wilkie. Takes away the icing. Wilkie, D-to-D, Payne getting a stick on it, but not enough to slow it down. Off the bench, Austin stepping in, poking it down low. McHenry to Kelly, half wall. Kelly's pressured by McLean. She goes down, puck under her as it goes back for McHenry, D-to-D. Payne stops up and wheels it right back to where it came from, up to Kelly. Kelly trying to center it. McLean steps up, she goes down this time. Mary Margaret McLean in there. And now it gets sent out by McHenry. Not enough for icing. Vickers goes all the way back into her zone, picks it up, and wheels up into the neutral zone. Jade Vickers through the neutral zone, knocked off her stick. O'Dane, Charlotte O'Dane waiting up as Ashbridge. 2-on-1, pressure on the back, check by Landry. Good job there to keep her feet going, not taking a penalty. As Ashbridge and O'Dane tried to work a 2-on-1. Angwani. Shot there, sent wide. Another rebound chance as that goes off the glove right back onto the stick of the forward attacker there was Layla Austin, and she'll heads off for a change, but a couple good chances there for her. They look to tie it up here. 5 minutes and 30 seconds remaining on the second period clock. Face off, battled for into the feet. Leslie picks it up. Working it off the wall, Dowling in her skates, pokes it up ahead, but not out. Sent back in by McNeil. Walter collects it. Centering pass off the skate of O'Dane back to Morel. Dowling picks off that pass that was intended. Going down there was Charlotte O'Dane, and she's slow to get off, and now she will. Morel gets to the blue line and dumps it in. Lawn heads off for a change. Far side, reading that play was McEachern, but not collecting it cleanly, as that'll be worked back into the neutral zone. Kearney over the line, one-on-one. Kearney poked away from her by Gabriel. Kearney cycles down low for Ashbridge Morel, rimming it around to the far side where it's held at the line by Harlan, cycling it down low. Beaton. Picked up, though. Good job there by McNeil. Centering pass, trying to find the centerman. Shot there, pad save. Jessam, another puck that never left the ice, but still causing some trouble. Kearney, short angle shot high up over the blocker. As back to the point, Harlan back down the half wall. Beaton trying to cycle, couldn't get enough on it. Picked off. Morel trying to get it out, can't do so. Beaton picks it off, spinning on the far side. Cycling it down low. Morel, high stick. No, says the official. They'll play on. Kearney, turnover just inside the blue line. Parsons has a chance. Here's a chance. Payne sneaking back door. Parsons trying to get it to her. Can't do so as Beaton collects the puck. Leaves it there. Driscoll, toe drag around Morel. Can't get it around her. Cremo up into the neutral zone. Poked away from her and dumped in there. Off the skate. Couldn't get it all the way in deep. It's picked up Morel. Now it'll get in deep and rimmed around here for Payne on the short side. Payne working it up the wall. Read though by McInnes as that was sent in by Zara Prince. Jodry on the forecheck. Trying to turn it over. Driscoll buzzing out there as well. She's flying up and down the sheet here today. Rimmed around. Taking some time. Centering pass. Andrews doesn't connect cleanly as Mary Margaret McLean poking it in deep. D-to-D pass here as the Caps break it out of their zone. Driscoll through the neutral zone with some speed. Driscoll, nice move to the middle. Driscoll scores! Ella Driscoll with a beautiful move and a beautiful finish. And she puts the Caps up by 2. And she has 2 here this afternoon. And the captain putting the team on her back on a nice move around the defenseman. And an even nicer move to fake out the goalie, patiently waiting and sliding it backhand. Ella Driscoll and her second goal of the game. So Driscoll now getting put on High Button Sports hat trick watch here. She's got 2, and there's still a whole nother period of action still yet to come here from the Credit Union Place in Summerside. So Prince getting the second assist of the night for her, I guess of the afternoon. So Prince with 2 points. She's assisted both of the Driscoll goals, so some good connection there. Good chemistry found between those two. Chipping it up into the feet. Power now tries to get it in deep just inside the line. Goes D-to-D, but worked past Gabriel, and she'll have to go back to the far side. Cleared out for Austin. Sent back, stepping up. Gabriel pokes it up ahead, but good read there by McHenry trying to get it in. Austin battles. Dowling trying to work her way through. Gets held up. No call on the play. Dowling trying to sneak her way in between the defensemen on the forecheck. Face-off staying inside. Glove hand side, I believe, from the looks of things. Face off into the corner. McInnes rimming it around to the far side where Dowling read that perfectly. Down low, Ashbridge trying to stuff it in the short side. Can't do so as it's worked back up to the point. Held in at the line. Dowling poking at it. 90 seconds here remaining on the clock. And there'll be some rough stuff going on here as Ashbridge drives the net once again out of the corner. 90 seconds here remaining on the clock in the second period. Actually, 89 seconds remaining here on the clock, is a minute and 29 seconds on the clock in the second period. Driscoll and Prince connecting for the second goal of the game. They connected for the first one as well. As that puck down low, Asbridge works it up over the circle, drops it down low. Jodry cutting to the middle, over top, shot there, blocked as O'Dane should let one go. Leslie works it back, O'Dane covering for her, her shot fanned on, couldn't get it up into the airs. That worked down low, Dowling trying to work it out from in behind the net. That worked up the wall, finds Brown, she tries to clear. Leslie poked past her, Asbridge picks up the turnover. Asbridge down low, she gets a little bit of a hook there from Brown. Well, play on, back, here's a chance, Payne shot there, and that goes high up into the mesh off the stick of Brown and out of play. Marley Payne stepping in from the point, she looks to add on to the scoring here in the second period with 42.2 seconds remaining on the clock here. Left in the period. 2-0 lead for the Capitals. They'll look to keep it that score heading into the third period, maybe even extending here on the offensive zone draw. Battled for into the feet. Vickers will collect, and now she'll get her feet moving up ice. Now through the neutral zone, Vickers over the blue line. Has Cremo shot. Delaney fighting off the rebound, and she'll hold on. As the puck kind of handcuffed Delaney up high near the chest and blocker area, as the puck sat down on the rebound right in front of her. She jumped all over that puck and holds on for a whistle. Face off. Going to go to her blocker hand side now. Right off the draw, Austin pushed it forward. Under half a minute now remaining here in the second period as it's worked off the wall towards the net. Cremo down low, battling. Good job by Driscoll keeping it out of the front of the net area. She just wanted to get into the corner. Here's a chance off the wall. Shot sent wide past Delaney. 5 seconds remaining. Chipping it up ahead. Driscoll, 2 seconds. She'll just have to shoot as she gets the puck, and that'll do it here for 2 periods of action. So after 2 periods of play, the Capitals 2, the Lynx still no score. Both goals coming off the stick of Captain Ella Driscoll. We'll be back here for a third period of action after this short intermission. Welcome back, folks, here for our third period of action in this two-goal hockey game between the between the Lynx and the Capitals. Starting out this third period with a two-goal lead. The Capitals, 2 goals coming from their captain, Ella Driscoll, both getting helpers. Is number 44, Zara Prince, assisting both of the goals. And the Capitals lead by 2 coming into the third period. We'll see if they can finish this one off here in Summerside. Driscoll on the draw, wins it back for Payne. Prince trying to work it in, can't get it around McLean. Neutral zone action here sent in. Lynx trying to get on the forecheck. Austin giving chase to the play. Driscoll picks up the puck there down low, knocked off of her stick and picked up though by Payne. Working it up the half wall here. Can't get it out though. Too far out of reach for Jodry, and Payne picks it up, but she's pestered there. Good job to pester that puck. Was number 9 for the Cape Breton Lynx, Elise Anglini. Is that puck in front and behind the net, steered away as the centering pass was intended for the target in front. That didn't connect, and a block there by the top point getter and the captain for the Lynx in Ava Landry. She had a hat trick to start the tournament yesterday, followed up by a hat trick from Raylan Gabriel later on in the evening in their second game of the day, as it was picked up now. Parsons chipping it for Kearney, doesn't collect it cleanly, and Brown picks it up and tits the blue and dumps it in and gives chase. Harlan back for it. She gets pinched off on the end wall. Puck into the feet, picked up. Good job by Kearney in there to help out. Centering pass. Brown picks it off on the way to the bench, right onto the stick though of Wilkie. Up here, intended for Beaton, too far away from her, and sent back by Morel into the neutral zone, over to the far side. Parouche works it back, D to D. Here's Morel up ahead for McEachern, and that'll get sent in. Bringing it back up the same side wall and all the way into the neutral zone. Beaton's going to chase it down. Picked off. O'Dane right back into the zone. Here's a chance. Charlotte O'Dane down low to the net. O'Dane can't get it around the far side pad. She goes into the far side corner. She wants a call. As now it's worked up. Here's Vickers. Got to be careful. Jade Vickers drops his shoulder. Backhand. Delaney saves it. Now it goes in. Is it dribbled over the line, and Jade Vickers makes it 2-1 and cuts the lead in half for the Capitals, and the Lynx are on the board here in the third period with a goal from Jade Vickers. Actually, it looks like Cremo's going to get credit for it. She must have tapped it home. Vickers is going to pick up the assist. Looks like Cremo's going to get the goal, and a 2-1 game here. 17:36 remaining on the clock, and the face-off at center. One back here by the Capitals. Chipped up ahead, trying to work it in. It's Dowling. Worked up ahead for Asbridge, down low. She turns it over. Worked it right back up ahead for Anglini. Up the wall. Can't get it out, though. Turned over. Here's a chance for the dangerous Landry. In alone, Landry shot, scores! Ava Landry ties it up at 2 here in the third period. Still 17:14 remaining on the clock. And the Lynx coming out storming here in the third period have tied it up at 2 in a brand new hockey game here in Summerside. Landry read that D-to-D pass perfectly, picked it off, and went in on a breakaway, bearing it over the blocker of Lauren Delaney. And we are now tied at 2. Wait to see the assist. I don't think there'll be any. She picked it right off the pass from the Capitals defenseman in alone, and she ties it up at 2 as the Lynx with 2 goals within 3 minutes here to start the third period to tie it up. And we're back to a brand new hockey game here in the third period, so 17 minutes or so to figure this one out. So Austin's going to pick up the assist on the goal as she'll get her first point of the game. Offside face-off here just below us. Driscoll, she's got 2 on the night. She'll face off there against McNeil. To the wall, Jodry chips it in. Around Lawin, picked up though, and off the stick of Lawin, picked up in the neutral zone. Driscoll gets her feet moving, tries to cut around. Stick into the feet, no call on the play. Puck worked back to the point, just held in. Cycled back down low for Prince. Bounces under her stick. Wilkie at the point, takes it to the middle, stops up, cuts wide. Now she'll cut to the middle. Wilkie, high slot shot. Rebound, as that went off the chest protector. As the shot worked in, could have been taken and whistled down, but the rebound spit out, and the Capitals continue pressure here. Walter, dump and attempt, goes off the skate over to the far side. Kelly picks it up and dumps it down low. McHenry's going to give chase. McInnes goes down hard and behind the net. She's slow to get up. Now she's making her way to her feet. Puck battle here, 2-on-2. Powers in there. Lawin in there. Getting a shove, though, on the wall is McHenry, and that'll be whistled down for a stoppage of play. 16:02 remaining on the clock. Face-off, I think, is going to stay inside as Power was trying to fish it out. Lawin and McNeil didn't want that to happen, so they'll head off for a change and a face-off to the blocker side of goaltender Abby Jessom, who's kept her team in it here in this game, as they're now tied back up at 2 in a brand new hockey game as McHenry down low. In front, Power was backdoor, but great read by Morel as she picks it up through the neutral zone. Olivia Morel mishandles it, dumps it down low. Offside, says the official. Very lately, though, as Leslie will have time to wheel it up now into the neutral zone. Leslie poked off of her stick. McHenry have to go back for it. Works it over for Payne. Up the wall for Kelly. Can't handle it cleanly. Kelly trying to chip it in. She'll have to work it back. That puck sent down. Tipped on the far side, says the linesman. No icing on the play. Rimmed around. Leslie finds Power. 21-22. It's worked up over the blue line. Power cuts to the middle. Power shot sent wide past the blocker high. As McInnes picks that puck up and behind her net, chipping it up and willicking it into the neutral zone. Ahead, Brown in between her skate and stick, kind of handcuffed her. Chipping it up is Kearney. She looks to keep things moving into the offensive zone. Nice spin move by Wilkie. Around 2, here's Wilkie. She's going to try to make up for the pass that found the stick of the tying goal of there. She is Ava Landry. Works it in, down low. Landry drops the shoulder. Gets it poked off of her stick into the corner. Landry trying to work it up the wall. Beaton picks it off. D-to-D attempt. Knocked away by Austin. She picked up the helper on the tying goal. Worked back to the point. Vickers. She has the helper on the opening goal for the Lynx. Here in the third period, both goals coming at the start of the third. Under 3 minutes into the third, both goals were scored as Vickers goes back into her own zone and collects the puck. Worked here for Mary Margaret McLean, who she works it up, hits the red line, dumps it down in deep, and Leslie back for it first, works it up, just getting a stick on it past McLean was beaten. As that goes back down, Morel all the way back. She'll stop up behind her net, pressured by Asbridge up the short side wall. McNeil trying to collect it. That's Avery McNeil, the forward and centerman on this line. Centers for her, out of the zone. O'Dane getting some pressure. She'll send it back, trying to get it in deep. Avery McNeil picking it off. Back the other way, trying to get it in. McLean dumping it up. Onside, no call actually. No onside or offside there was signaled. Leslie for Walter. Sadie Walter centering. Under the stick, though, of Chloe Dowling and into the neutral zone. Walter works it back into her own zone. O'Dane picks it up, centers. Here for Dowling across the blue line. Dowling working it up ahead. O'Dane following up the play, picks the puck up, is poked off the stick of Dowling as O'Dane stops up, down low, centering pass. Cremo intercepts and works it back the other way. O'Dane on the back check and a delayed call now, and O'Dane goes down, and it looks like Morel's going to go to the box as Cremo was headed back the other way, and a hooking call coming up here, and a power play opportunity for the Caps to get the lead back as they gave up 2 here early in the third to the Lynx, and a tied hockey game will send the Greenfoot Capitals on a much-needed power play, trying to get some momentum back into this game. Driscoll on the draw. She's got the 2 goals for the Capitals. She'll face off And now, no, she'll get kicked out. It looks like Jodry will dig in here. That puck faced off into the feet. Battle Driscoll, high slot. She'll take her time with it. Settle things down. Work it back up for Leslie. Got to be careful at the blue line. Worked out. Offside there at the line as it goes out in through the feet as Leslie couldn't control it inside. And a face-off going to come outside here just below us to the left. Driscoll will dig in here once again for this draw outside the blue line in the offensive zone. One back to the far side point. That's Leslie and an offside call. Leslie worked it too far across the outside of the line. Not in over the blue line, sending the Capitals offside once again. And they've wasted 17 seconds here so far on this power play, trying to get their lead back as it goes back. Leslie works it right up ahead to Jodry over the line. She'll cut back by the ringette line, work it back to the point. Payne works it far side for Driscoll. 2 on the game. Driscoll cuts back over top of the circles, cycling it down low. She'll go to the net. Shot there, blocked. Point blank in front. Another shot sent high. Worked back on the half wall. Prince down low for Jodry. Centering pass, shot Prince. Oh, a big pad save there by Jessom, and Driscoll collects it on the far side by the hash marks. Driscoll to the point. Payne back for Driscoll. She'll walk it in. Fires high. Driscoll looking for the third one. She's had a few opportunities. Payne spinning at the blue line, cycling it back down low, giving Austin a shot there. Prince out front, knocked away though by McInnes. Payne clearing to the front of the net. McInnes collects it. Clearing attempt goes all the way down, 200 feet, all the way from in behind her goal line, all the way down by the Greenfoot Energy Solutions sign, the major sponsor for the Greenfoot Capitals here in this U18 Female Hockey League. As it's worked back through the neutral zone. O'Dane over the blue line. She'll look over some options. Down low, O'Dane in behind the net on her backhand. She'll spin, leave it there. Dowling works it up to the point. Wilkie, far side, she'll walk to the middle, let one go, blocked by McLean. McLean cycling in behind her own net. She'll be pressured by Ashbridge and draw a penalty. And a Lynx power play upcoming as a 1 second exactly on the clock had clicked off. And a power play upcoming. Ashbridge will go to the box. Tied at 2, 11:07 remaining. Ashbridge to the box and a Lynx power play. They've scored 2 goals here early in the third period as they look to get their first lead of the game here. Has a power play opportunity. Goes down into the Capitals zone to the blocker side here for the faceoff. Delaney between the pipes for the Capitals here in this mid-afternoon matchup. Thanks for tuning in live on High Button Sports. We're inside the Credit Union Place here in Summerside, Nova Scotia. Shot pad save there by Delaney, cleared away into the corner. Harlan clearing attempt, glove down. Gabrielle's got to be the first to touch it if it's for her team, or it'll be a hand pass, and she does. She cuts back in the corner. As I mentioned a couple times, she had a hat trick last night as Ella Driscoll, she's on hat trick watch here today. She's got 2 for the Capitals as it's worked in over the line. Vickers dishes it. Angloni shot there, blocked by Beaton. Works it into the corner. Landry, she's got the tying goal. Works it back. Angloni shot there, sent wide. Far side. Gabrielle holds the line. Gabriel works it to Vickers. Shot wide past the blocker and over to the short side here. Collected. Taking her time with it. Back to Gabriel. Shot there. Tipped wide right into the, tipped on, not wide, tipped on right into the glove of Lauren Delaney, who will freeze up for a whistle. And 58 seconds has expired on the power play so far here for the Lynx. They look to take the lead. They haven't led yet this game. They trail 1-0 and then 2-0 as they have an opportunity here to get their first lead. They had 2 goals early in the third period. Driscoll gets tossed. Face off will now be taken there by Sydney Power as it's worked back to the point now though for the Lynx. Shot there, McInnes blocked, rebound high, wide up over top of the net as Austin let the shot go on a slap shot attempt. Shot there from distance, snagged out of the air, held on to, no rebound as Delaney reaches out and holds on. Face off. Trying to get it out of the zone. Offside. Now where's the chance? Driscoll. Chance short-handed. Works it in on her backhand. Ella Driscoll will cut back and take as much time. She cycles it down off the shin pad where it's picked up by Sydney Power down low. Power trying to kill off as much time. Maybe trying to draw a call as well. Picked up. Worked back here through the neutral zone with some speed over the blue line. Austin down the far side. Dropping the shoulder. Forehand shot through the crease. Not on net. Over to the short side here, it'll be battled. McNeil stepping up, trying to work it around. That goes around the red on the glass. Vickers, far side, spinning, heads up. Power goes in the boards awkwardly. Vickers leaves it there for Austin. Back for Vickers, poked off of her stick by McHenry and back into the neutral zone. Here comes McHenry. Eleanor McHenry down low. She'll pressure Cremo. Cremo's forehand rim over to the far side. Vickers trying to poke it out past Dowling. Can't do so. Dowling, good forecheck there, but Brown will collect it and send it through the middle of the ice. Off the skate, though, of McHenry. And now out. Dowling chipping it up for herself. Had to wait up to wait for the offside to get back to onside. And now it's sent right back in. Dowling around. Kelly's going to forecheck. Vickers up off the boards. Chipping it to herself on the far side. Brown can't get it around Payne. In there to help out as Brown giving a couple cross checks to Marley Payne as they battle outside the bench of the Lynx. The elbows up into the cage and a delayed call here. Payne, no, they won't. They'll let them play on. Good job there by the officials, knowing the situation in the game. Tied at 2. Don't want to give it an opportunity of man advantage to one team or the other. Just let them figure it out for themselves. Speaking of, here's a chance. And a shot on, and a rebound sat there for a second as Austin let one go from distance. Face off, going to stay inside. Looks like it's going to be the glove hand side of Lauren Delaney, who gets the start here in this mid-afternoon matchup. Jodry on the draw, loses it. Landry works it back. McInnes slaps it back down in low. Pressured by Austin on the end wall. Under 8 minutes now here remaining in the third and final period of this matchup. Unless it goes, I don't know, about overtime. As here's Anglini. Shot there off the iron and over to the far side. McLean shot there. Blocked by Driscoll. Shaking her hand off a little bit. Driscoll gets it back on the centering attempt. She'll chip it out into the neutral zone. Jodry trying to work it up ahead. Prince can't get it in deep. Walter steps up, gets center, dumps it in. Prince going to head off for a change. O'Dane out there, fresh set of legs, worked back into the neutral zone. Picked up off the bench. Ashbridge out of the box. She had to serve the 2 minutes. I'm sure she held her breath for all 2 minutes of that as it's worked down in behind. The Lynx net by Ashbridge. She goes down. Play's going to continue. Leslie at the point. Shot looking for a tip in front. Dowling got a stick on it but didn't find its way to the net. Payne for Dowling, down low. She'll cut back, spinning, losing an edge, and back into the neutral zone is Leslie. Collecting, and a stop play. And a very delayed call, and it'll be Chloe Dowling's going to go. 2 minutes for head contact. Here with 6:43 remaining. Dowling taking the penalty. Power play opportunity on back-to-back power plays coming here for the Lynx in the third period after they scored back-to-back goals, and the linesman's going to kick someone out once again. I don't really know what they're kicking them out for. I'm kind of curious to maybe see or hear. I don't know why. They haven't even dropped the puck. No one's really gone into the circle or anything like that, so not really quite sure why they're kicking a player out of the draw each time, and it seems to always be in zone draws, or like every whistle, it seems like someone's getting kicked out of the draw and a different centerman's coming in. Landry towards the net. And it just seemed like it's every draw that someone's getting kicked out, either team. Like, and I just don't know what they're doing wrong to be able to have someone being kicked out consistently, and why aren't they being able to correct it is my question. Is maybe they don't know what they're doing wrong to get kicked out. Maybe they're not getting instructed, or they're just getting tossed out, no explanation, and that might be why they see so many of the players getting tossed from the draw. Beaton clears that puck out down the full length, no icing. Under a minute remains on the power play here for the Lynx. McInnes back spinning, trying to get away from Kearney, but she'll pin it up against the wall as it squeaks free. D-to-D attempt goes off the back of the net, cleared back. Kearney gets to it first. Kearney now up over top of the Capitals logo and dumps it down. She'll head off for a change. Driscoll will hop over to kill off the last half a minute on the power play. Cross ice pass. Austin touches it, leaves it there for McLean. Pestered though by Parsons, who will draw a call, and a 2-minute roughing call is going to be called here from the backside official once again, all the way inside the other blue line, as McLean goes off now for roughing in a 4-on-4 for 20 seconds here in an offensive zone draw for the Capitals, as the Cape Breton Lynx have tied it at 2 in the third period. 5:03 remaining. Deadlocked at 2, brand new hockey game. 2 goals here in the third period from the Lynx. Did that early in the third period. Under 3 minutes into the third period, they had 2 goals. Harlan blocked, works it down low. Morel stops up, uses her net to avoid the pressure as she'll work it back into the neutral zone, chipping it up ahead there for Landry. She'll stop up. Driscoll turns it over. Here's a chance. Ella Driscoll chips it up ahead for herself. Too far out of the reach, though. She goes into the boards awkwardly, and another call coming up here. A potential 5-on-3 opportunity for the Capitals. 2 for body contact, and that'll do it. A minute and 28 seconds on a 5-on-3 power play here for the Capitals. We'll see if they maybe use their timeout to give their team a breather. Yes, they do. So we'll take a quick 30-second timeout here as the Greenfoot Capitals signal a timeout. And now we'll be back here for the last 4 minutes and 31 seconds of action here on High Button Sports from the Credit Union Place in Summerside, PEI. Welcome back here for the last 4 minutes and 31 seconds of this crazy back and forth hockey game. 2 goals from the captain Driscoll as she's out there now. 5-on-3 opportunity as she has it on the half wall. Driscoll picks it up, works it up top. She'll take it down the middle of the ice. Attempting the pass down for Jodry. It picked off though. A minute 19 remaining on the first penalty. Worked back far side. Here's Leslie. She'll walk. Find Driscoll on the short side here. She'll take her time, look over some options. Far side, she'll work it down. Leslie's shot towards, blocked by McInnes. Clearing attempt, fanned on, good stick lift by Jodry. Back to the point, Leslie walks to the middle. Down for Driscoll. They'll try to get it tighter towards the net. Driscoll walking it back up top to the middle. She'll take her time, dishing it wide. Here's Payne down the short side. Shot right onto the chest protector, held on to, no rebound. Driscoll was sneaking in back door, wanted the pass, but Payne elected to shoot it on net. And good job there by Jessom to not give out a rebound. 5-on-3 continues, a minute 40 minute 14 remaining on the second one, 42 seconds remaining on the first penalty. 5-on-3, it continues here. Jodry right off the draw, into the feet though. Prince shot, rebound, loose in front. Austin collects it and clears. Great job by Austin to grab the rebound, clear it out of harm's way. It goes down and they'll slow things down. Leslie works it up ahead, stretch pass. Morel chose not to play it. Icing call here, as I think that should have been waved off. It went right past the stick of Morel. Probably could have kicked it, and she just let it go, and they called icing on it. So an icing call here, charged against the Capitals. As Morel let the puck go right past her. Didn't even attempt to play on it. The linesman didn't pick up on it. And an icing call charged the Capitals. 5-on-3, 20 seconds remaining on that first penalty. Austin potentially wanted a call there on the face-off. She thought she was hooked up a little bit. As that puck will be picked up here, Payne works it through the neutral zone and over the blue line. Marley Payne, 5 seconds on the power play remaining for the 5-on-3. Work to the far side, up to the point. Driscoll lets a shot go in, it's blocked. Back, here's a chip up ahead, trying to find McLean. Work back offside at the line. McLean collects it, trying to dump it back in, just inside the line. That'll be picked up. Here's Leslie through the neutral zone. 5-on-3 unsuccessful. Now it's a 5-on-4 for about 20 seconds. Leslie works it down low, trying to set things up. She's pressured, can't connect. Vickers clears it back to the point, collected by Harlan. Fanned on it, here's a chance. Landry splitting the D. Landry in alone, no call, can't get the shot away, and no call on the play. Landry looked right at the official wanting a call, as she thought she was hooked. She couldn't get the shot away, but the official saying no, they'll play on. 2 minutes and 19 seconds here remaining. Worked up the wall, stepping in Morel. Beaton's going to regroup in behind her own net. She'll stop up, reverse it for Leslie. That goes over her stick. Parsons on the half wall. She doesn't have her feet moving. She'll go back in behind and set things up, working it back for Beaton, stepping up Morel. Plays it down off the shin pad, rebound in front off the shin pad. Sat there and cleared away by Harlan out the far side. Gabrielle picks it up, works it here for Morel. Morel across the blue line, centering pass off the skate and all the way back into the Lynx zone. Gabriel will go. Raylyn Gabriel will collect it, take her time, chipping it up off the wall. Goes through the feet though, and back the other way. Here come the Capitals. Power over the line. She'll draw another penalty and another power play coming up here with 1 minute and 23 seconds left. Work back to the point. Walter, DDD one-timer fanned on there. Goes right through the feet. She didn't get any lumber on that. And a call here. Avery McNeil's going to go to the box with 1 minute and 16 seconds remaining on the clock. Another power play, the third power play in the last 5 minutes of the game for the Capitals in a tied game. The referees putting the Caps up a man here 3 times in the last 5 minutes. And the Capitals look to get their lead back here. Kearney, Jodry, Driscoll, Payne, and Leslie out. 5-on-4 power play for 2 minutes. Actually, not even for 1 minute and 17 seconds. Payne at the point makes a move. Got to be a little urgency potentially here. Payne for Driscoll on far side. Driscoll walking it down low. Driscoll in behind the net. Ella Driscoll working it back to Payne at the point. Payne back for Driscoll on the half wall. She'll take it up top. Trying to pass it over to Leslie. Good stick there by Cremo. Working it back down. Here's Driscoll looking for an option to the middle of the ice. Can't do so. She'll have to spin around on the far side. Driscoll battling there with Landry. Landry finds Cremo. One-on-one chance back. Here's the other way. Cremo over the line. Can't get it in deep. Work back. Here's Jodry. Half a minute remaining on the clock in the third period. Worked in. Jodry cycles down low for Kearney. Kearney looking over some options. 23 seconds remaining. Payne at the point. Kearney cycles down low. Driscoll to the bench. Over to the side there. Clear back to the point. Payne, good job to hold the line with their skate. Over to the far side. Wilkie to the backhand. Cutting back. 10 seconds remaining. Back to the point. Payne lets a slap shot go. Sent wide. O'Dane down low. 3 seconds through the crease. Oh, to the far side. Wilkie And that'll do it for 3 periods of action. So after 3, the two teams tied at 2. So we'll hang around here as an overtime period awaits. We'll wait to see how long it's going to be, but I believe maybe a 5-minute 3-on-3 overtime. I guess it'll be 4-on-3, a power play carrying over for 44 seconds. We'll be back here for OT action after this short break here on High Button Sports. Welcome back for the extra period of play here live on High Button Sports from the Credit Union Place in Summerside. PEI, thanks for tuning in for this exciting game. Deadlocked at 2, heading to overtime. Power play is going to carry over for the Capitals here as they were up by 2 and gave up 2 early in the third, has tied up at 2 going into overtime with 30 seconds or so remaining on the power play now as it's worked back. Leslie at the point. She'll walk the middle as that's worked down low. O'Dane shot off the stick high up on the glass over to the far side. Dowling steps in. Chloe Dowling down low. Protects the puck, works it back. O'Dane at the point. Back down for Dowling. Dowling centering, rebound. Cremo can't control O'Dane's shot as Jessam couldn't find the rebound. It was over in the corner. Clearing attempt up off the dash here just below us. Leslie collects it 4-on-4 until the next stoppage of play here in overtime. Dowling on her backhand, dumps it in. She'll spin off and head to the bench. Beaten over the boards with Driscoll here in overtime. Worked up, here's McNeil. Avery McNeil and Driscoll collide up at center. Austin picks that pass, works it back, picked off Payne. Working it back here for Driscoll. Over the blue line, Driscoll stops up now, works it back into the neutral zone as she had to step over the line. Landry with a pickoff. Landry shot wide past the blocker side. Landry, great job on the forecheck. 4-on-4 continuing here, as I mentioned, till the next stoppage of play. Beaton stops up, chipping it to herself, gets tied up. Continuing with it, leaves it there. Driscoll with some speed, has Beaton with her. Ella Driscoll on her forehand, centering pass, tipped up over top of the net by Mary Margaret McLean. On a great defensive play there, getting back on a centering feed from Ella Driscoll. She had Beaton driving the net. Up the wall, no icing. Austin must have got enough on it to take away the icing. She must have just got a stick on it as Wilkie up here. Payne touching it, not getting enough on it as it couldn't get it back for Kearney as Payne collects it, works it D to D. Far side, looking to center. Kearney has a step, can't get it around Gabriel, and it'll be picked up. Work back here, far side pass, McInnes. Works it through for Landry. Drop pass for Rylan Gabriel. Shot on, rebound, held on to there for a whistle as Delaney stops play. Now we'll move to 3-on-3 for the last 2.5 minutes or so. Face-off, going to go to the glove hand side of Delaney. What a game we've been treated here with. One more still to come here today. The Stars and the Flames will face off on High Button Sports here shortly after this game wraps up. Be sure to head over to High Button Sports, check that game out. This one yet to have a finisher. Dowling down low, looking for an option. Dowling cycling down the far side, leaves it there for Leslie. Back for Dowling, high slot. She's going to walk in. Shot blocked there by Gabriel. Over to the far side, chipping it all the way down. It's going to have enough steam for icing. It slowly makes its way to the dot and slows down. Not enough. Dowling's going to have to go back, work it up the wall. Dowling across. Here's O'Dane now. She'll stop up. She's alone. She'll have to take her time. Finds Leslie down the middle. Leslie works it wide. She'll cut back inside the zone just by the hash marks. Job there to cycle it down low. Leslie, backdoor chance for Driscoll. She couldn't get enough lumber on it. And Driscoll had a wide open net for the hat trick and couldn't bury it home. Landry with a burst of speed down the far side wall. Backdoor. Good break up there as Vickers trying to bury it home. Leslie gets a stick in there to break it up. Kearney cuts back. She'll get some speed now through the neutral zone. Kearney over the line. Shot into the chest, held on to for a whistle with 1:17 seconds remaining in overtime. Abby Jessom stepping up to the task as Driscoll was alone backdoor. She couldn't get enough lumber on it to get it up over the pad of the goaltender, Abby Jessom. She wanted to bury it home as I mentioned, Driscoll with both goals here for the Capitals today and kicking someone out of the draw once again. Driscoll in to take it. Trying to win it back right onto the stick of Kearney. She'll leave it up top for Payne. Pressured. Payne bobbles the puck, almost turned over at the line. As now it'll be sent back. Kearney will collect in the neutral zone. Work it up for Driscoll. She'll stop back. Spinning it back over to the far side for Kearney. Kearney. Driscoll trying to go through the middle. She'll peel off for a change. As that'll be Marley Payne through the middle of the ice. Payne dishing it off. Jodry 1-on-2, waiting for some support off the bench. She'll work it in, cut back, pressured by Gabriel, leaving it for Beaton. Now she'll collect it off the half wall, back on the far side. Shot there, set wide by Leslie. And down low, trying to work something out front. Beaton on the half wall. She'll cut up over top of the circles on her backhand. Beaton. Backhand pass, I think, intended in front there for Jodry as it works up the half wall once again. Cycled for Jodry. Leslie creeping into the middle of the ice. Jodry over top of the circles. Shot blocked by Cremo. 10 seconds remaining here on the clock. Far side. Leslie shot. Glove save held on to for a rebound. That'll stop the clock at 4.9 seconds. And Driscoll out here as going to see the top players for each team here to face off. Driscoll, Payne, and O'Dane for the Capitals. Landry, Vickers and right off the draw, Driscoll shot. Can't get it past the pads of Jessom. That'll stop play with 2.8 seconds to go. Driscoll right off the draw with a push and a shot attempt. Driscoll towards the net. Landry picks it off, and that'll do it for overtime. So after 4 periods of play, the score still yet undecided as they're tied up at 2. As we will head to a shootout here in Summerside after this short break. Live on High Button Sports. Alrighty, folks, welcome back here for the shootout here inside the Credit Union Place in Summerside. PEI will await the first shooter. Here getting sent out is Ashlyn Kearney. She'll get the first shot attempt here for the Capitals. Kearney picks it up, puck up at center. She'll weave her way in. On the forehand, Kearney drives it down low. Kearney backhand, poked away by Jessam as she tried to drag it around her. Abby Jessam up for the task, and Kearney couldn't slide it around her. Shooting first is going to be the captain for the Lynx. That's Ava Landry. She'll be the first shooter here for the Cape Breton Lynx. Landry takes the puck slowly across the blue line, now picking up some speed on her forehand. Landry shot, 5-0 scores! Landry sneaks it through the 5-hole of Delaney, and she scores the first goal of the shootout for the Lynx. She also scored the game-tying goal in the third period. The Capitals will elect to send out their captain, Driscoll. She has both goals for them here in the game. Driscoll taking her time, picks it up at center. Over the blue line, she'll work it in, pick up some speed, forehand, backhand, forehand, shot, glove save. What a save there by Jessam, sliding over and catching that puck, and now a chance to win it all. 3 goals yesterday. She has a chance to take this one home for the Cape Breton Lynx. Raylyn Gabriel picks the puck up slowly over the blue line, taking her time, takes a step, forehand shot right off the pad and held out of the net by Delaney. One last chance to keep her team in it. Zara Prince, 2 assists on the game so far. She looks to keep the team in it and give Delaney a chance to send it to the next round. Prince working it in to her forehand shot into the blocker and saves, and that'll do it for a shootout. Abby Jessam with a celly and the Lynx over the boards, and they win this one 3-2 on a comeback. Third period there by the Lynx. So after 3 periods of play, the Cape Breton Lynx 3, the Capitals 2. They'll still get a point out of the shootout loss, but the Lynx with the extra one. Thanks for tuning in here live on High Button Sports. I'm Logan Carruthers. Be sure to stay tuned for the next game between the Eastern Stars and the Fredericton Flames. Live on High Button Sports. That's it for me. Have a good one, folks. We'll see you later.